Susie is everyone's favourite purple dinosaur, and if you think she's not your favourite, you're wrong. We've seen her go from an insecure bully to an insecure hero. But where does this insecurity stem from? Why, where else but... One of the easiest things to infer about Susie's character is that she comes from an unstable background. She eats absolutely anything, dresses in rags, and treats basic amenities like luxuries. Whether she comes from an abusive or broken home, we don't exactly know, but we definitely know that she lived in poverty. We can see that, and so can everyone else in the world of Deltarune. That's why, when she tried to play a public piano as a child, she was told she wasn't allowed. She looked different, scruffy, rough, she didn't fit in. Anyone was allowed to use the public piano, that's the point, apart from Susie, because she looked poor. She wanted to express herself, enjoy herself in public, be earnest, and she was told she wasn't allowed. And that's not fair, is it? So Susie smashed the piano. If she's not allowed to play it, why should anyone else? She wasn't allowed to express herself peacefully through music, so she did it in a language that couldn't be denied, through violence. She's forbidden from smashing the piano just as much as she is from playing it. So why not show how angry she is? Why not use violence when that's all anyone expects from her? Susie has always been pushed away from people, so she started to reject them first, so no one else could get the chance to hurt her. She outwardly projects her violence. She lets everyone else know that she has already rejected them, that she is the one to hurt them, not the other way around. Susie's cruelty prevents anyone from getting close to her, so that she can't be vulnerable in front of anyone. No vulnerability, no chance to be exploited, no pain. It's a survival mechanism. Susie is kind of mean in a Saturday morning cartoon bully way in most of Chapter 1, but the very first thing she does is threaten to kill Chris. And Noelle's blog shows more vividly how genuinely cruel she could be, telling Chris that no one would miss them if they were dead. I think if you don't look too closely, Susie's mean girl behaviour can come off as just a fun affectation, the way she smashes cakes and insults people for no reason. But no, Susie is seriously cruel. Yet she softens by allowing herself to be vulnerable, allowing herself to be close to others. She softens, she grows, she heals. I spent some time trying to think of the perfect subheading for this section. Kindness, compassion, trust, honesty, none of it quite encapsulated everything. But Susie's story so far is truly one of healing. It feels like tea parties are for wimps, but when I'm with you guys, I don't have to worry about that. Those are the words of someone who has allowed themselves to be vulnerable. Having a tea party is an expression of earnestness and trust and friendship. It's not something cool or intimidating, therefore it's exploitable. Susie sees something which requires everyone involved to be vulnerable as something which can be attacked, made fun of, insulted. Showing that you care about something in that way is an invitation to be mocked. It's easy not to care. It's safe not to care. If you don't care about others or yourself, if you don't care about having fun, then no one can mock you for it. No one can call you cringe if anything you do is done with the intention of protecting yourself. It's very performative. Susie is constantly worried that if she allows herself to be seen expressing herself, someone will take advantage of that and use it to mock her. So she sheds any semblance of care for herself and others. She attacks everyone else before she can be attacked. Susie puts on a show of toughness to let everyone else know that she won't be their victim. Or rather, she did, because she enjoys this tea party with her friends. She encourages Ralsei to eat more cake, seeing it as rightly his. She flicks sugar to Chris. She wants to see her friends having fun. This is what healing looks like. Susie healing is the main arc of Chapter 1. She's the most focal character from the very start of the game. In Chapter 1, we see her being accepted. She's put in a situation where she is forced to spend time with Ralsei, who tirelessly works to pacify her and open her up, and show her that she doesn't need to jump to violence with everyone. But really, the big breakthrough comes with Lancer. Susie is someone who has been told she's a bad kid all her life, and has come to think of herself this way. So when she sees Lancer, someone who self-identifies as a bad guy, who revels in it, who seems to be having fun with it, it only makes sense that she should see him as a friend. Being the bad guy with Lancer means being fanned by Rudens. It means pushing their homework onto Ralsei and Chris. Lancer has no expectations of Susie. He's just happy to have company in being a bad guy. So for once, she's able to let her guard down and get close to others. Susie has so much fun with Lancer that she allows herself to be vulnerable. She trusts him, and that trust is betrayed. This is when we see how badly rejection has damaged Susie. She comes to expect it, being betrayed by her only friend. She jumps straight to violence, reverting straight back to her defensive mindset. She pretends she doesn't care about Lancer, that she always knew he would betray her trust, that he meant nothing to her. It's all a lie, of course. The only way Lancer can prove that he really doesn't want to hurt her is by letting Susie hurt him. He doesn't fight back, he just takes it. so she gives up. But the cracks in Susie's defences have already started to show. She can't just let Lancer be hurt by his father, and she can't let the king hurt Ralsei and Chris. She's already been changed by the acceptance of Chris and Ralsei and Lancer, and now she wants to protect them. We go on to see Susie's defining trait become not her cruelty, but her kindness. That's how Ralsei describes her in Chapter 4. When Ralsei, the kindest person she's ever met, the icon of kindness to her, is at his lowest, when his kindness is killing him, Susie is able to lift him up. She's able to show how much she's changed, how much she trusts Ralsei, and how much she has come to truly care about him. Look how deeply she's hurt by the idea that Ralsei isn't real. She has become so attached to him that the idea he doesn't matter is painful to her. She comes to know Ralsei well enough to be frustrated by his flaws, to really snap at him when she needs to. She sees his lack of confidence and how it hurts himself and everyone around him, and her anger rises up, not just at him, but for him. Her friendship with Ralsei really reveals how much she is healing. In Chapter 1, we see Ralsei encouraging Susie to be nicer and more peaceful, but after that, Susie takes the lead in their relationship. It's Susie who drags him off in the Cyber City, Susie who suggests that he come to the fair, Susie who encourages him to eat his own cake. Ralsei only had to let Susie know that she was in a safe place for her to open up and actually want to make friends. When they're playing the board games together, Susie is comfortable enough to mess with Ralsei in the way that you throw your sibling off the map in Mario Bros instead of working together. At the start of Chapter 4, even as the stakes ramp up and things are looking worse than ever for the fun gang, Susie still asks to pose because she loves spending time with her friends so much. And after finding out how little Ralsei values himself, she insists on finding furniture for his room, even when the furniture is kind of nonsensical, because she can't stand the idea that Ralsei thinks he doesn't deserve to be happy. And her compassion extends beyond just her friends. She goes along with Tenna's games just because she feels sympathy for him. He's pathetic, he's vulnerable, he's someone who Susie could have brought down. A few days ago, she would have been vicious to him for showing such weakness. She would have taken this as an opportunity to make herself feel bigger by making someone else feel smaller. But because she knows she's in a safe place, she's able to show him kindness and humour his games. And she flips on him only when she finds he's a threat to Toriel. Toriel, the one positive role model in her life, the only adult to show her compassion and understanding. The one authority figure to not expect Susie to be a violent delinquent. Toriel literally just showed Susie some basic kindness, and in return it motivates Susie to throw away any goodwill she had for Tenna and fight the roaring knight just to rescue her. And of course there's Noelle. Susie seems pretty oblivious to Noelle's infatuation, but she definitely seems to enjoy the attention. Susie is able to chat with Noelle about things that would have been embarrassing and made her think she was being weak. She's able to tease Noelle in good nature rather than jumping on any chance to put her down. She feels safe playing Dessa's guitar, which, expressing herself through music, is literally the first thing we know about that traumatized her. I'm not sure if the romantic side of their relationship will actually manifest. There's not much indication that Susie has the same feelings for Noelle, and Noelle's obsession with Susie is pretty unhealthy and stems from her own fears and need to be close to things that scare her. Though it's possible that Susie has never even allowed herself to even acknowledge that she can have feelings of attraction, and that's something that could open up later on as she becomes safer. And then, of course, there's her relationship with Gerson and how she literally learns to heal. Gerson is exactly the mentor Susie has always needed. He doesn't judge her or make assumptions about her, he just sees a kid who's lost and decides to help. Gerson never tells Susie that she's wrong, he never tells her what to believe, he just challenges what she believes about herself and makes her justify it. He makes her say it out loud so that she can really hear what she believes and understand how wrong it is. Susie starts to learn healing magic in Chapter 2, but it's not enough. She tries to heal Chris after their hurt falling through the prophecy, but is immediately pushed aside by Ralsei. After that, she gives up on healing, returning to her previous insecure mindset. The only thing I'm good at is violence, so that's all I'll do. I'll leave the healing and the kindness to Ralsei. But Gerson is able to find a weakness in her mindset. Susie's pride toward her strength is deeply linked to her shame, her feeling that she isn't smart enough or good enough to be anything but strong. Gerson needles at her pride to goad her into using her healing magic, and that's enough to prove that she can. She heals Jackenstein, and immediately the seed of her growth blooms again. Susie's healing actually improves in-game the more you use it, healing more and more as she practices. All she needs is for you to trust her and she becomes better. And the main fight you'll be using Susie's healing is against Gerson, where he forces her to rely on her own abilities and have faith in herself to pull through. Gerson really never does anything that Susie can't do, he just gives her a push in the right direction. By far the most important relationship Susie has developed is with Chris. I mentioned in my video about Chris how they very quickly become friends, finding companionship in each other's weirdness. What I didn't mention there is how deeply Susie comes to trust Chris, enough for her to open up about her insecurities to them. I think this is one of the most important conversations in the entire game, when Chris and Susie are scaling this tower and Susie opens up. She confesses that she has really internalized everything everyone has assumed about her. That she's a bad kid, that she doesn't deserve to be happy or have friends. I've never really gotten picked for anything before. No one ever wanted to be my partner in class. Even got chosen last in gym. But this is like something else, you know? Something important. Chris, before I didn't think I could be a hero. I wasn't good enough. I mean, I was bad. I still kinda am bad. In some ways, I guess. But now I got hope crossed on my heart. Hope written in truth, written somewhere no one can erase. Susie is finally in a place where she can pour her heart out to Chris. She finally admits to her insecurities and how they've damaged her. She even gets a little poetic, able to express herself properly, saying that her hope is written in truth. She admits that she couldn't believe she could be the hero of the prophecy. Everything she thought about herself, that no one would want her, that she was fundamentally bad, that she didn't deserve comfort. It all stopped her from believing in herself. But because she is offered a safe place to grow and accept herself, she's able to develop into someone who can really change things. What makes Susie the most important character in Deltarune is her ability to change, her determination. What we know of determination in Deltarune is much less than we knew in Undertale. We know it's a force that allows Lighteners to open dark worlds, seemingly any Lightener given that Birdley was prepared to do it. But Susie's determination goes a lot further than this, a lot deeper. Hers is the power to break the prophecy. Throughout all of Chapter 4, we see that Susie is being set up to rebel against the prophecy. When she and Chris fall through the first screen, Chris is injured dramatically, while Susie is fine, she can break right through it. She saves Chris from falling and smashing through another panel. Gerson says that she's the one with the pen, the one with the ability to rewrite the story. Even though Susie doesn't believe it, Gerson does. He insists upon it. And by the time she's fighting Gerson, she's really amped up, she's so much more confident. She calls herself a hero, she says Gerson can't stand in her way, even though Gerson is way stronger than her. She's always standing up to threats far bigger than her. Against the Knight, it's Susie who asserts her will, Susie who promises to never back down. And if you beat the Knight, it's very probably because you gave Susie the Shadow Mantle. She's the strongest, the one best suited to fighting the Knight. When Gerson shows up to save the trio against the Titan, he doesn't do anything that Susie can't do. Their attacks are nearly equal, and Gerson is relying on Susie as much as she is on him. It's not the Gerson Buster or anything that breaks the Titan's shield, it's the Dual Buster. It requires both Gerson and Susie. It's only by asking Chris to have faith in her, and to trust in herself to come up with a plan good enough to defeat the Titan, that Susie is able to win. Susie, who couldn't trust herself to be anything but violent, now asks Chris to put their life in her hands, trusting that she has a good idea. That's how much she believes in herself now. Then there's her encounter with the final prophecy. This is the most literal manifestation of her determination. This time, she purposely smashes the prophecy. She rejects it completely, taking Gerson's lessons to heart. If she doesn't like what the prophecy says, the prophecy which tells of the inevitable future, which cannot be changed, then she'll change it anyway. The prophecy is only infallible if everyone believes it to be so. Self-fulfilling prophecies are something of a theme in Deltarune. Susie predicts that she can't be a better person or a better healer, so she doesn't try to be. When she actually tries to change, when she believes in herself rather than this prophecy, she's able to. I don't know if Susie will get everything she wants. There will be an ending to Deltarune, no matter how much she wants the adventures to last forever. Love will find its way to the girl, whether that's literal love or the Undertale version, which represents violence, whether the girl is Susie or Noelle. I don't know if Susie will be able to thwart whatever scares her and Rousey so much in the prophecy. But her shining optimism, her determination, and her kindness will allow her to change things that she never thought she could. That's what makes her the most important character in Deltarune. So, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to make the numbers go up. Thanks to everyone who showed support on my previous video about Chris. If you didn't see it and you liked this video, then maybe go check it out. Also, to everyone who was being transphobic in the comments of the last video, fuck off. If I'm to build any kind of community on the internet, you better believe I'm not tolerating any kind of bigotry. Oh, also, some people were really put out by me calling Chris the best protagonist in gaming, like really mad about it. The thing is, that's my opinion. It's okay to disagree. Not everyone else has to like the same things as you. You're allowed to think someone else is the best protagonist. It's fine. Anyway, next video is about Rousey, if it wasn't obvious already. And that's all I have to say. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.